Now, in this exercise, we'll be understanding the importance of the UI window, and also we'll be understanding the view hierarchy in the iOS application. Now, basically, window, now we know that the MVC pattern which the iOS application holds is that every controller is attached to a view, and on that view you can place n numbers of view on it. So this view acts as a stack. Now UI window, if you see by going inside, it's also a UI view. Now UI window is a special kind of view. Basically this is a view which comes at a base view for your view hierarchy. So your view hierarchy is like a stack. At the bottom of the stack is a UI window. Now, as a real world example, as we discussed, that in Cocoa Touch, if I create a hand, I'll get a whiteboard attached to it. Now, that whiteboard on its own cannot be hanging in the space. So, we need a wall on which we can put that whiteboard so that whatever you write on that whiteboard is inside the focus area of the audience to see. So that wall is represented as a UI window. So that wall is a UI window. So whenever you create an application, your first object which gets created is a UI window. Then you create a controller because we use the MVC design pattern. Now when you create a controller, automatically the view associated with that controller gets created. Now that means first you create a wall, then you create your hand. When you create your hand, you have a whiteboard automatically attached to your hand. The third point is that you have to tell your controller, you tell your window to attach the controller view on it so that it becomes, the controller view becomes a part of the view hierarchy. So that means the third step, you will put your whiteboard on top of the wall. Fourth point, like by default, your window and everything is invisible, or you can say it as a curtain. So you say, please remove the curtain and make your window visible. So these are the typical 4 steps which we perform when we do an iOS application development. Now, basically, the UI window gets created automatically through some tools. Now, we want to override it. So, in order to override that, we need to perform these all 4 steps on our own. Now, for that, we need the reference of our controller. So, we give the name of the variable as base controller, and the type is view controller. So now the fourth step which we discuss about the setting up of the view hierarchy will be done when a first function gets called when your application launches, and that function is application did finish launching with option. So we'll start creating that 4-step manually. So first I'll say window equal to UI window. Being a view, I'll select frame. I'll create frame with 0, 0, 320, 480. So I'm initializing with the dimension of the full screen of the iPhone first generation. So now why we need to create window full screen, we'll be discussing in next module where we'll be discussing about the UI responder design pattern. That time we'll discuss more about why Windows is full screen. The next step is to create your base controller, which is view controller. So I create a base controller using the constructor of view controller. Third, you need to associate your base controller view on window. So you say window dot window exclamation mark, as both are optional, root view controller equal to base controller. So your controller view is attached to your window. And the fourth point is to make window visible. So the method called make key and visible. So these 4 steps, okay, becomes the base of your view hierarchy. So step 1, create the wall or window. Step 2, create the hand or the controller, which third, associate the base controller view with the window, and fourth, make window visible. So typically, currently your application view hierarchy looks like this. On top of the stack you have window, bottom of the stack you have window, then you have base controller dot view. At that you have your bg underscore one dot png as your image view. At the same layer on that top you have your label, Priyanka label, and on top of that you have pumpkin. So on top of the stack you have pumpkin. So this is basically your current view hierarchy of your application which you have developed. In next exercise we'll be discussing more on the function syntax before we move to the UI responder in next module. So next exercise we'll discuss about how to declare various functions with parameters and various concepts associated with them.